Hey, it's the champ Antonio Tarvin. You're listening to Tarvin's Take. I want to do a recap of last night fights, man, live on ESPN. Thursday night fight it kicked off Super Bowl weekend. Teofimo Lopez, man, gets the win over Jermaine Ortiz in a WBO junior welterweight title. Man, a lackluster performance to say the least, but can't really fault the champ for all of that. I mean, you gotta be willing to engage and you got to be willing to fight. And, it didn't look like Jermaine Ortiz came to do exactly that. I think he started what they considered boxing. I don't consider that boxing. When you're running around the ring and you're choosing not to engage and you're stinking up the place, man, as far as excitement or entertainment goes. And I don't know who he's patterning that style after, but no, you have and coming in as a challenger, that's a difference than defending. And there's an old adage, an old saying that you got to take the title from the champion. And that really holds well in last night fight, man. I didn't see that he really made an effort to take the title from the champion. And when you look at how Lopez was pressing the fight, trying to make the fight happen, I think Tim Bradley kept saying he didn't know how to cut the ring off. Well, you can't cut the ring off with someone that's not there to fight. They're there to just escape and elude, elude confrontation. And no, that's not boxing. That's fencing, bro. That's a different sport altogether. And when you look back at the so-called legendary boxer of the old days, man, you can think of a guy like Hector Camacho, very entertaining fighter, but they thought he ran. He never ran. He boxed. He always was offensive. He always put hands on people, man, and that's the difference. And think, kudos or hats off to the judges because they didn't get tricked into that, running instead of boxing. Boxing guys always put hands on people, man, and that's the determining factor. They want to say Floyd was a runner, but Floyd put hands on people, bro. Like that's the difference. When you go back and look at all the great so-called quote unquote boxers of old, man, they was offensive fighters. They knock you out if they could. You know what I mean? And you're gonna know you've been in a fight because they're gonna have put forth that effort, man. And this is high stakes boxing. So you got to be able to take risks. Only thing that's rewarded is risk, and you didn't see a lot of risk taking from Ortiz. And I think it was Ortiz's job to make the fight. He's there to take the title. You know what I mean? And when you look at how, again, Lopez was pressing the fight. He was trying to make the fight. He even let the guy come to him, back the shuff in the corner to have the guy engage. And that's the only time that Ortiz really, I thought, let his hand go with conviction was when it appeared that Lopez was a sitting duck. So, man, you can't get no credit for that. And I think the judges had it right. You could have had it closer than the 117, 111, but the outcome remains the same. Lopez retains because he came to fight, and the other guy, I don't think Ortiz came to fight. He didn't come to win a title. And, like I said, don't nothing pay off but a risk. So these guys got to be risk takers in the fight, especially if you want to take someone's title. And I don't think he put forth that type of effort. And it wasn't a robbery, man. You gotta really be willing to even stand in there sometime and fight. And in the undercard, man, hey, Keyshawn Davis stole the show. What else can I say? He fought Jose Pedraza in a 10-round lightweight feature where he won a unanimous decision. So he continues, man, to look dominant in his outing, man. And this was one of the fights that you could do comparison with a Tank Davis, because Tank was able to stop Padraza. Was the only man that was able to stop Padraza, and he did it in good fashion, man. In the beginning, I thought, he wasn't turning his punches over, but I look back and see that he was really opening them up. You know what I'm saying? Going to the body. He really showed that there's levels to Keyshawn Davis. And when he came out in the 6th round, man, and really was hell bent on causing havoc, he did that. He took it up a notch. And that's the type of separation you want to see these young fighters have when they're facing these wily old veterans. You know what I'm saying? We know Padraza wasn't at his best, or he wasn't in his peak form. He's had some wars, had some battles, and we know he took a pounding against Tank Davis. So, but he came in with a good game plan, a good attitude, but I really didn't understand all of the herky-jerky, unnecessary movement in the beginning. But it took Keyshawn a little while to get his timing down. But again, when it was time to go and it was time to get him out of there, he put his foot on the gas and he got the man out of there. And that's what you want to see from a young, contender, man. You want to see that separation at levels like this. And then when you look at the buildup of the fight, even at the press conference, he had his foot on Teofimo's neck pretty much the whole weekend. So, and then the call out after the fight. So you know where his mind is. These young fighters nowadays, man, they ain't trying to wait their turn. They trying to take their shot. And you can credit Keyshawn for that, man. And I see something in this kid. He has that demon, I believe, that devil in him, man, when it comes down to his energy, man. I don't think he see any of those guys. I think he can see himself beating pretty much, any and all those fighters around that 135, 140 pound weight division. So, man, if you guys are thinking that you're going to just slide up in there or just going to retain those titles without seeing Keyshawn Davis, man, think again, because, he put Teofimo Lopez on notice that he's willing to come up to 140. So, Keyshawn, we're going to be seeing him around for a long time, man. And hey, here's a guy that's going to have to be dealt with. He ain't going to just fall back, or he ain't going to just lay down. So he's going to have to be dealt with, and he already putting everybody on notice. So look forward to Keyshawn, man, really making his name and making himself felt around in those weight classes, man. I wouldn't be comfortable having a belt around any of those weight classes. So you've been warned. You've been listening to the most informative take in boxing, Tarver's Take, man. And I appreciate all you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go and do so. We appreciate all your support, man. Until the next time, stay tapped in, and I'll talk to you then.